I've spent over 2 years exploring ancient sites in the Andes Mountains, and today I want to take you to one of the most mystical places I've ever been. Not because it's as grand as Sacsayhuaman, nor does it have the view to rival Machu Picchu, but when I visited this ancient place, I may have been the only human for miles in any direction. It was incredible. Thankfully, I encountered a pack of wild llamas that I became fast friends with to stave off the loneliness. Today on Ancient Explorations, I want to take you to the magnificent Inca site of Chupani. Let's explore. Real quick before I get into the video, you hate to hear it, but I gotta ask, hit that like button for me, hit the subscribe button for me. The majority of people that are watching this video don't actually subscribe to my channel, and it really hurts me personally on a very, very personal level. Just kidding. But do me a favor and hit that subscribe button because it really helps me out in the algorithm. I'm a new channel, and so I'm just working my way from the bottom up is a really big struggle. But any little bit helps. Drop a comment if you could. If you see anything in here that you like and anything you have comments on, or any other places that you want me to explore, drop a comment down below. Love you guys. Let's get back to the video. Okay, so there's the information about Chupani. It's about 33 meters, 3,300 meters in altitude, which is actually pretty crazy high if you think about it. It's around 11,000 feet in elevation. And right off the bat, I encounter these magnificent, magnificent llamas. Wild alpacas, and you can see these things are just absolutely gorgeous. Trying to not to get too close to them to scare them off, but they were really not intimidated by me, scared of me at all. It was a beautiful foggy day there in these mountains. This is visited during the rainy season. As you can tell, the river there is full, and all the greenery is there. But these are the ruins of Chupani. Now, this was an Inca site that was a housing development. It was just a small town that had a whole bunch of farms nearby. It was used actually quite late, until the 1800s. As you can see in this picture here, it looks like still a lot of it was intact. This main site right here, I do apologize. This main portion right here was not the farming site. This was the ceremonial site where they had a ritual area. The surrounding area was all farms and terraces. But this site actually, where these buildings are, I apologize, was the ceremonial area. And you can tell that by the apses that they had. They would put idols and figurines, mummies in there oftentimes. Though probably not at this site. There probably weren't many mummies, as it wasn't that significant compared to some of the others. But you can see this is clearly Inca stonework. The use of irregular shaped blocks that aren't precisely cut, that are fit together with mortar. So that's a key component of Inca work, is the use of mortar. A little bit later in this video, actually, I'm going to show you a different site that's a little bit more well preserved, and I think it's actually been restored, that shows some of the Inca type construction. And it shows how they would build the foundations with this type of stone, and then the adobe or clay on top of that with wicker and eucalyptus, or sorry, not eucalyptus, just wooden roofs, wooden and thatched roofs, which is fascinating because they're attributed to, like Machu Picchu and Sacsayhuaman, which is this incredibly massive megalithic stonework, which, doesn't fit with the rest of the architecture that they were using. But it was really cool to be out here on this day all by myself. As you can see, nobody else is around. I don't think many people know that this site even exists. It was pretty cool, and it's pretty overgrown too. This one doesn't look like it's had much restoration work. I mean, shoot, I could just reach down and pick up any one of those Inca blocks, take that home with me if I wanted to. But, I've got a little bit more respect for these sites than that. Now, some of the pottery shards, if I find them out in the open, they might go missing. My bad, but I'll leave all the stonework there. That needs to be preserved, and that needs to be kept the way that it was. As you can see, looks like a modern build on top of the Inca walls to the left there. Beautiful view of the mountains in the surrounding area. Just absolutely love it. Alright, I'm going to be quiet for a little bit and throw in some music here so we can enjoy things and just take a look at everything. I'm going to pause here real quick. So this tree right here is the Cherimoya tree. I'll put a little Wikipedia entry there. You can see the Wikipedia entry right there. So this is the tree that they had that existed during Inca times. And this tree was essentially the only tree that existed. All the other trees, the eucalyptus ones, the tall straight ones that you see, those are imported from Australia in the 1930s. They're an invasive species. So the Inca, who are attributed with moving the blocks at Sacsayhuaman, this is the lumber availability that they had. This, or sourcing things from the Amazon rainforest, which, if you've been down there, not a lot of great straight trees that can be used for that as well. So, but we don't even have any records of them doing that. So this is what was available locally in the area. This is their Cherimoya tree. Okay, this next site here, I can't remember the name of it, but it's on the way out of the site that I previously visited at Chupani that's a little bit more restored. And it does use some of the more sophisticated Inca construction, as well as has some hidden megalithic blocks. Let's take a look at it and let's watch this place, because it's got a really cool dynamic where we can see how the Inca actually constructed their buildings. They have the base, the foundation of stone. These ones use mortar in between. And then from essentially about 4 feet up, it's adobe after that with a thatch roof. So there's just view some corn there. Apologize if these pictures are a little bit out of order, but this is what the Inca construction looked like. Pretty basic. I mean, a good solid foundation, but I mean, it really wasn't anything fantastic. Nothing like you see at Sacsayhuaman, which obviously, yeah, it's a different work of art altogether. Excuse me, sorry about that, but just, you know, spectacularly different levels of quality and technological capability that you find. Beautiful time to visit here. These are potato fields that you can see right in front of you, by the way. In case you don't know this, 100% of potatoes in the world originate from Peru. They all came down from the area, and the Inca cultivated over 2,000 varieties of potatoes. It's crazy. They did this by terracing. They would grow them on these terraces at different elevations, so they would breed them all the way from the coast up to 12, 13, 14, 15,000 feet in elevation. So they interbred and crossbred all these kinds of potatoes, and it wasn't until the Spanish invaded in the 1500s that the New World finally got access to potatoes and tomatoes and all sorts of, and you know, cocoa and all sorts of interesting things that they had never had before. Now look at this, is a large megalithic block that you can see buried under the foundations. Very interesting. So much superior in quality and size and everything else around it. But, you know, I guess the Incas still did everything, apparently. Then just another cool view of the building here. Just some cool stuff to look at. They use the large megalithic stones. See, those megalithic stones just look different. They just look different. You can tell they are different. They are repurposed. They do not belong. They do not fit. The Inca knew that they do not fit, and they repurposed them as well. That's why they look so different. That one right there at the base. Thanks so much for watching, guys. If you enjoyed that and you're enjoying the rest of my videos, please do me a favor and do yourself a favor, honestly. hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. I'm pumping out a ton of videos, going to a ton of places, a ton of exciting places all around the world, searching for evidence of a lost civilization. Even if you think I'm crazy and you think I'm full of it, it would sure help me out if you hit that subscribe button and you can talk crap and say a whole bunch of nasty things in the comments. I don't mind. I still love you anyways. And as always, stay awesome. Stay engaged. Thanks for everything. Always ask questions and know that I love you.